So this is St Nicholas Cathedral in St Petersburg. On this beautiful morning, bright blue skies, sun shining on that golden dome there. Magnificent. It looks like it's made of icing. It was renovated 2 years ago, so everything is absolutely pristine. The St Nicholas Cathedral has a separate belfry, which you can see here, the little bell in the middle. And look at the sun shining on that. Wonderful.
I would say people there
Oui, tout droit à droite, le pavillon, voilà, dans le jardin.
This is St Isaac's Cathedral, which we will be visiting tomorrow, but in this evening sunshine against that blue sky, it looks absolutely wonderful in St Petersburg. It's Peter I, and this was a gift from Catherine II to the city. He founded the city, and this piece of granite came all the way from Finland. It was brought here by horses. It took 3 months to get here. So this is the waterfront at St Petersburg, looking along towards the Winter Palace, which is in the distance. See traffic crashing over this bridge we're standing on. But the sun is just casting light and shade on those buildings. Beautiful, in that big golden dome there of St Isaac's Cathedral, which you can see in the background. And this bridge has a magnificent balustrade made by the craftsmen of St Petersburg. View of the waterfront. St Isaac's Cathedral in the background. Way along there, that blue building is the Hermitage, which you can see here just from the side. There's a chap fishing here, like all of us, got snagged up. So I thought he had a fish, but he doesn't. So what they're fishing for, I don't know. Perhaps they're fishing for anything they can get. But he's been catching on worms. He has two rigs. I don't know what it is. I haven't a clue. I think this guy's got a fish on, I don't know what it is. Centre spool. Bell's rattling away. It's the same as the other one. Little fish. Again on worms, they all seem to be fishing on worms. So this is the Ministry of Arts, and opposite there are these big sphinxes which were presented to the Tsar. A present from Egypt is, you can see there, it's all written in Russian, in 1832, so they've been here quite a long time. This is the lighthouse, or one of them, there are two, on the river Neva. There's St Isaac's Cathedral in the distance, the golden dome you can see there. This bridge in the foreground was presented as a gift from the French and was built by French engineers, including Eiffel, who built the Eiffel Tower. We just swing round here, we come to the Hermitage Museum, with those white columns and bright blue facade. And then as we swing along, we cross various other Hermitage buildings, including the Hermitage Theater, which was the Tsar's private theatre. And then we come to Millionaires' Row, where the very, very rich nobility of St Petersburg lived. Down to that next bridge there. It's just a wonderful facade. And I'll just bring it back round. It looks absolutely gorgeous in this evening sunshine. We've had brilliant blue skies all day, and the weather is very, very warm, even now at 6 o'clock in the evening. This is Pushkin, and in this building are all the original manuscripts of Pushkin and numerous other very famous Russian literary figures in St Petersburg. This is the building in which Pavlov works on when he was doing his work on classical conditioning, salivating dogs experiments. In St Petersburg. Unfortunately, it's in the evening, so the building is in the shade, and it fronts onto the river Neva. So this is the man himself. This is Pavlov, who worked on this classical conditioning in the building behind me, and he's in this lovely square here with the trees, which you can see there, and all these buildings down here belong to the university. So this is an avenue named after Mendeleev, the Russian scientist who was instrumental in the discovery of the periodic table. And the main university building is behind those trees. Again, it's in the shade. Where on this side we have this wonderful facade in yellow and white. So the whole foundation of chemistry is based on the work done in these buildings on the right hand side as I face them. Mendeleev and the periodic table. So this is the St Peter and Paul Fort. Lots of people sunning themselves over there. Seems to have a little beach. Warm evening sun, really nice. The ornate bridges going across the river at St Petersburg. Very ornate lamps. It's beautiful. Beautiful Art Nouveau railings at the Cathedral of... But they are quite splendid. Keep it going. Singer sewing machine companies. This big globe on the top. And now it is a bookshop, where it has the most wonderful Art Nouveau interior, a bookshop and a cafe. This is inside the bookshop, and it's got these wonderful Art Nouveau banisters and curled, beautiful. Just on the corner of the Anglesey, they've got these lovely Art Nouveau brass fittings, the originals. Inside the Singer Cafe. So these are the chandeliers inside the Singer building. These are the original Art Nouveau chandeliers. Wonderful. Well, we sit here and we overlook this building here, which is from the cafe upstairs in the bookshop. The building, it has this wonderful ceiling. This Art Nouveau ceiling. Beautiful. I don't know what this building is here, but I think it's the Russian Museum. It's got these magnificent porticos with columns. Every street is quite magnificent, almost without exception. Wonderful buildings. This is the Hermitage Theater, I think, which was for the private theatre for the Tsar. And these wonderful marble carved statues. Quite outstanding. And just as we come into the square, you can see the end of the Hermitage building, and in the distance you've got St Isaac's Cathedral on the other side of the square. Coming to this quite magnificent square, I've got my back to the Hermitage Museum. We've got this column here, which is the Alexander column. On the other side of the square you get this wonderful arch. Quite magnificent. Very artistic, this guy. So this is a political meeting. He's a member of the opposition, this man. Belongs to some party, I don't know which it is. But But it's obviously quite popular. There are lots of young people here. Now, just after 2 o'clock, and we've just been in this place looking at all the artifacts, as many as we could fit in without getting bored. You just look right round this square, just see how quiet it is. Very, very quiet. Big arch over there. And this yellow building, which is the Admiralty, and is absolutely enormous. And that clock with a tower in it is in the middle of the Admiralty, just to give you some ideas how big the place is. And on the top it has, as somebody once said earlier on, it has a Blue Peter badge. This is a nice St Petersburg canal. House just behind me is where Rasputin met his giddy end. But you can see there this monstrosity of a building, obviously built during the Bolshevik time. This building here is the Yusupov Palace. This is where Rasputin met his grisly end. There is a tour of the palace, a Rasputin tour. Unfortunately, it only takes place once a day at 1:45, 13:45, and if you don't get to see that. This is the kissing bridge. People, when they've just married, they come here. They seal their marriage. They put a lock which cannot be broken. So here is a metal cage. So when you get married, you come and you and your bride put your lock on here, so the marriage is everlasting. But of course, people in Russia get married much younger than anywhere else, and there is an awful lot of divorce, so these locks seem to have very little effect. This is the Marinsky Theater. Behind it, so this is the Marinsky Theater. Behind it you can see the tower cranes of the second theatre which they're building in a much more modern style, which is upsetting the locals a little. They don't want it particularly.